I have told you that I have came in the persona of Jesus to the Jews in Palestine. I might as well have said that I came to the Arabs in the persona of Muhammad, since Muhammad and I are of one spirit, and it is vitally important that you should understand this and realize that the divisions you make between your teachers are wholly erroneous, because we are all united in our common source of being. We are a brotherhood of beings of life, each manifesting through our individuality the highest truth of our source of being. I've returned to all those who are neither Muslim nor Christian, Buddhist nor Hindu. I have come to all of those who desire and long to know the reality behind all of existence. And therefore, the sheep of every religious persuasion, those who have sufficiently evolved in spiritual understanding of the fundamental unity of your source of being, should swiftly seek to unite in equal brotherhood in your towns and countries, and reach out and bond with your spiritual brethren worldwide, irrespective of all that is taking place in the external world. You should transcend all religious differences: Christian, Muslim, Sufi, Jew, Israeli, Palestinian, Hindu, Buddhist, etc., and regard yourselves as all being equal within the safe haven of universal love and universal intelligent protection, at peace with yourselves and with each other, and with those who are determined to fight to a finish. Only in this way will your planet survive the turmoil which lies ahead of you. Christ consciousness does not just belong to Jesus, who we often termed as Christ. It is a frequency, it is a knowledge, it is an understanding. And it is something that once it's fully understood and embodied, can transcend the current world and the current reality in which we are presently living in. This is Michelle Sinclair with the Real Healing Institute. So what I teach is the universal laws. These are based upon Christ consciousness. And so Christ consciousness would tell us that the only thing that actually matters is the evolution of love and the understanding and the embodiment of that. Now, let me give you an example here of why it is so important to embody what it is that you actually speak about. So let's say that you're a teacher and you're teaching somebody how to cook. And so, you got all these kids in your class and you're teaching them, and this is the way, you just follow the recipe, you do the thing, and then the teacher makes the thing and everybody eats it and they're like, this is terrible. This is the worst food I've ever had. Would you want to learn from that teacher? Probably not, because obviously something is missing in their teachings. And what is missing? Probably their love for it, probably embodying the love for it, and they're probably just doing it because, this is the only teaching position that was open, and I guess I got to teach a cooking class. But there's no passion, there's no heart, there's no love. There is other motives behind it, which more than likely are about providing for self and having money. What kind of a teacher is this? Not a great one. Not one that I would sign up and pay to take a class from. However, have you ever taken a class from somebody and you were like, dang, they are meant to be teaching that class because they're passionate about it. You really learned something from it. You remembered what it was that they said to you. The reason why is because they are embodying what it is that they're speaking about, what it is that they're teaching. So we can get all kinds of information and we can know, Christ consciousness, it's the way, it's the thing. But if we don't actually embody it and we don't live it, it's, but like being a cooking teacher that sucks at cooking. What's the point? What's the point? It must not be the thing. So I was meditating here before I started this podcast, and was just meditating, cleared up a few things, and was told to turn to page 117, which I did, which happens to be the message that I just gave you. And so this is really about uniting. So we were having a discussion this morning during our spiritual recess. And the discussion was about, so many things, but it was really about embodying and curses and what's going on in the world. We went here, there, and everywhere, but what we're going to talk about here is the portion about uniting. So we had talked about, there was a few different practitioners that my business partner was working with over the last several months. And patterns came up, and I was kind of given information, about these people and certain things. But what was noticed was that there is some type of spiritual blindness that they embodied, which obviously, because they're embodying this and they're a teacher, the recipient of that also has some of that themselves, right? Because everything is just a mirror to show us where our blind spots are. But the thing about this is truly about sovereignty, right? And so let's say that you're a Christian and you're like, oh, well, the Bible, the church, the thing is the only way to be. Or let's say that you are Muslim and you're like, okay, well, the Quran and the, doing this thing however many times a day down on my mat and all the thing, this is the thing and it's the only way to be. As soon as we become rigid, and as soon as we think that it's the only way to be, we're not following the path, man, because there's evolution. And I don't know about you, but I know that evolution is constantly occurring. And so what was believed 2,000 years ago ain't the thing today. Because if you just even look at your life, the world is a completely different place than it was when you were a kid, right? This is evolution. And so there's also spiritual evolution. So what needs to happen in this is people understanding that there's no separation, that just because you believe this and you believe this over here and you believe that, it doesn't matter. We're all united as one. And as soon as we judge another, what we're actually doing is we're throwing judgment on ourselves, because we're all one. So this is like being like, I'm going to judge my elbow over there because the elbow likes to bend this way. And I'm going to judge the neck because the neck only bends this way. And not realizing they're all part of the same body. They're all actually playing the role that they're supposed to be playing. They're not all an elbow, so they're not all supposed to bend in that particular way. But each part of our body is completely different, right? Look at this as a whole. Let's imagine that the world and every person in it is part of the body. Okay, well, when you're judging, your eyelid cells over here, but not judging your knee cells, and you're saying, oh, no, the knees are the way to be, and screw these eyelids over here. Well, what are you doing to the entire body? You're throwing it off kilter. And it's not going to operate optimally how it's meant to. And so when we judge something like, let's say, another religion, what we're doing is we're judging ourselves, and more than likely we're taking something about that person, because it's typically not an entire religion that we're judging, because if we did that, we would see the truth and be like, we actually align up, in about 90% of the places, all religions agree upon the same basic rules, but it's people that go into there, that throw their ego into it, that then distort the actual messages, and then we look at a person and we're like, well, that's what it's about, when that's not what it's about. That's what that person's about. Anyways, but when we judge these things, we're really judging ourselves. So we got into this pretty deep. So she's been working with a couple of practitioners who are blind, as I said, to their own evolution, right? And this is because there's these lineages that have been passed down. So it's like, well, I have to do things exactly as my grandmother taught me how to do them, because this is how you pass down these customs and these traditions, and this is how it's done. Well, sorry, Grandma, but there's a little thing called evolution. So yeah, I'm going to take 100% of what you taught, but then I'm going to tune into the divine myself, and I'm going to see what messages come to me directly from the divine, rather than just listening to somebody else's messages from a couple hundred years ago, right? This makes sense. So when we are basing our thing, even off myself, right? Even if we're basing our life or our beliefs or things like this off of what somebody else says, we're missing an element that could be present, that could be so very precious to us when we have that direct connection ourselves. So how do we get this direct connection with the divine? Well, it's very simple. And it's simpler said than perhaps accomplished, but it is very simple. By eliminating the ego, meaning all the things that we think, throughout the day, all the judgments, all the criticisms, all the this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, all the this is evil, this is Good. All of the little things that we think, everything that's in our mind that makes us who we are, that makes us believe the way that we believe, all those things, all we need to do is eliminate all of that, right? Sounds simple. So that we have a blank slate. And then when we have a blank slate and we don't have our mind infiltrating the messages that are coming in and having a message come in and be like, oh yeah, but, and then attaching something to it of our own belief system. Oh, but this message came in. Oh, but then attaching something from our own belief system. As soon as we stop doing that, then we're getting a good, clean, clear message that is coming through. And then we can know for ourselves what it is that we need to do. So, several years ago, I achieved this, wave of enlightenment, and it lasted for years. Like it's, still pretty present. However, in the last couple of weeks, I had felt something dwindle, and I'm like, what is up with this? And I was like kind of upset, like almost feeling like I've been betrayed by the divine, that this is happening. And so I had these really deep insights that came in today about what this is really about. So I'm going to share this with you. So there is things called curses that can be put on people. Now, these curses can be put on us with words. They can be put on us with ill intent from other people. We could even curse ourselves. Don't do that. But let's say that somebody else, had hoped for your downfall, hoping that your downfall would be their uptick. Something along those lines, a curse along these lines. Well, this can energetically truly mess with you. Drain away your energy. You might feel depleted. You might feel sad. You might feel grief. You might feel, all kinds of ways. And when we clear these energies, first by becoming aware of them, when we're unaware of something, we don't even know what we're, going to clear, so we can't do it. When we become aware of these energies that are outside influence energies, and then we can heal them, meaning we can be thankful for them. We can take the lessons and the learning from them and truly be thankful for that teacher that taught us either about boundaries or about tuning into ourselves energetically more and becoming more aware of that, or whatever it was that we learned from that process of somebody else cursing us. Since we can learn this lesson, then the curse is not only broken, but then it's energetically boomeranged back to that person because you have removed their energy from your energy field. They are now going to receive that energy back with interest. Whatever damage was done to you over that time, that gets attached to it and then gets put back in their energy field. Now, you don't want this for the person, right? You're like, oh, I don't want to curse anybody else. You're not. You are allowing for karma to take place, and you should want this because of what you learn through those processes of, suffering or, depleted energy, whatever it is. You know that you learn a lot from it. So why would you want to withhold somebody's own karma from themselves? You wouldn't want to. You might want to because you got a good heart and you're like, I don't want anyone to suffer. Cool. Yeah, you're not causing it. They have done it to themselves, and they need to reap as they have sown so that they can understand that they reap as they sow. So I say all of that to say this. If there is some place, let's say that you're dealing with someone who is spiritually blind, and it may have been damaging you, right? You might be following really closely to this person's teachings and be like, okay, no, I need to restrict myself of this. I need to do this. No, in the lineage, it says that this needs to happen, blah, blah, blah. As soon as you start following something like that, that's just all laid out for you, that says this is the right way, this is the wrong way, you're not dealing with the thing anymore, because things can change second by second, instant by instant, moment by moment, which is why when we listen to somebody else, like even listening to me here, right? You need to be sovereign being. Know what's right for you. If I say something and you're like, oh, that strikes a chord that's not right. Okay, well, tune into it. Maybe it's gaining awareness around something that you haven't looked at yet. Maybe it's pulling something out inside of you that you really need to pay attention to. Or maybe it has nothing to do with that, and it has to do with you choosing, yes, this is right for me, and no, this is not right for me, by being that sovereign being. But in the ability to be that sovereign being and to trust the information that you are downloading from the divine, that you are getting, that is channeling through, that is clearly coming in for you, if you have an ego distortion that is in the way, like these people who were spiritually blind, and I'm saying this because they believe that they know all that there is to know. There's no more for me to know. I learned everything that is in the lineage. That's it. this is the be all and end all, that's that. At that second that you decide that you've learned everything that there is to learn, you have stunted your spiritual growth. It's called evolution for a reason, man. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm a fish that now has legs, I'm going to quit here. Well, no, that ain't the thing, because what if you're going to turn into a cat and you're going to deny yourself your full potential and your full growth opportunities because you think you know it all? Not the way to do it. So here's how you can do this. This is really going to benefit you. Tune in yourself. Ask yourself, is there ego in the way that is distorting my perceptions and my channeled messages? If you get yes, then you're going to take a piece of paper, get a piece of pen, get a pen, and you're going to write down, what are the things that automatically come to mind when you think, am I operating out of ego? What things come to mind? Maybe there's something like jealousy, maybe there's resentment, maybe there's grief, maybe there's hopelessness, maybe there's fear, maybe there's superiority, I don't know, whatever the things happen to be that come out. Now, as you've done this sovereign act for yourself, now take them one by one and take them to the divine and be like, hey, divine, you are the one who made me aware of these things. Please help me to clear it. And take them in one by one and clear the things. Maybe this is a daily thing, maybe it's a weekly, maybe it's monthly, maybe it's whatever it is. Maybe this is something that is ongoing that you need to keep doing. And as you do this, then you're going to ask, okay, at what point, and you'll just know, am I not operating out of ego anymore, and am I getting clear messages? And then one day you're going to be like, the messages are totally clear. And you will have done this for yourself on your own, between you and the divine. And so then you're going to know that all of the messages that come through, because you're going to keep checking in and making sure that you're not introducing the ego back in. But as you keep checking in and you keep getting these channeled messages from the divine, your life is going to change, because you will be daily guided as to what's best for you, as to what's not best for you, as to what energies to be around, as to what not to be around, and you're going to be able to fine tune. Once you reach, that level of mastery that your ego's gone, well, pretty soon then you're going to have to fine tune the subtle energies that come in. And the things that were tolerable to you in the past will no longer be tolerable to you. And then you'll know, okay, there's a whole nother level of things that I need to work through. And then you'll work through those. And then you'll get up to another level. And then you'll gain a whole nother level of mastery. But this is not endless work. It is enjoyable work. And while you're on the journey, it truly can be an enjoyable process. Some of it, the suffering, diving in, finding those deep, dark things that are quote unquote bad, those might not be so enjoyable. But just know, as deep as you go that way, you're going to go just as high the other way. And once you've cleared out all the depths, whatever's down in the basement, in the dugout, whatever's down in there, once you've cleared that out, well, you're going to fill that hole in with divine love, and then you won't have to continue to go down there. In fact, you won't want to, you won't need to. There would be no reason to go down into the depths anymore. You will just stay up at the heights of enlightenment with you and the divinity being one, totally cohesive, a cohesive unit. But what's going to get you there is your sovereign expression. You, my friend, are a unique puzzle piece. And you could imagine a puzzle piece in your mind right now. And if there's any ego that is present, if there's any beliefs that are distorted, like maybe that you believe you're not good enough or worthy or valuable or something like that, then just imagine that puzzle piece has chunks taken out of it, right? There's pieces of your power that you need to fulfill your purpose and your passion here on earth. But when you believe these distorted things, it's like a piece of you is actually missing. We need you to be the power piece. And so as you heal these things and you call these things back to yourself, pretty soon you're a bright, shiny, brand new looking puzzle piece, and you fit perfectly into the puzzle of this world. And in fact, the puzzle would be completely incomplete without you. But you need to be in your power, and in order to be in your power, the healing has to come, the judgments have to leave, the criticisms have to be gone, all of the low vibration things have to be eradicated and replaced, transmuted into the truth, which is divinity, which is light, which is the embodiment of it. And so if any of these pieces play into account, let's say that there is still judgment about other religions, or like when you think about it, you're like, oh, they're stupid, oh, they're whatever, or there's something along these lines that needs to be healed, because just know that if someone is seeking in this way, they are seeking the divine. They are wanting that connection. It doesn't matter that they're finding it in this religion or that maybe they're not finding it in those, but they're seeking it. It doesn't matter where they're looking. They're just seeking, right? They're just trying to find what it is that they have forgotten. They are trying to remember that they're a spiritual being. And so to not judge that, and to love that, and to know that there are such good people in every religion that exists, the people who truly embody the actual teachings, which is always just, treat your neighbor as yourself, turn another cheek, love them, love them, love them. That's always the underlying message when somebody gets that part of it, because they've healed all the things inside of them that aren't loving, that are judgmental and critical and harsh and hateful and angry and frustrated and mean and resentful and all the things. They've obtained it. They are then in Christ consciousness, no matter what it is that they call it. They are embodying the Christ consciousness. And because they're embodying it, it's being emitted in their energy field, and all who come into their environment and energetic imprint that they leave will be blessed by it. So it's a wonderful, good thing. And so the more that we can unite with our brethren worldwide, who all they want to do is love people, all they want to do is bring light and happiness and joy and contentment and peace and calm into the world, the more that we can do this, the faster our evolution will occur. Because as long as we remain divided, there will be no cohesion. As long as we are in an undivided state, we're operating optimally. Just like you can't rip the elbow off the body and expect that it's going to be able to perform its optimal function when it's not even attached to the body anymore. But this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to, rip off the head and rip off the toes and rip off the this and be like, no, you're not here. You're not belong this. No, you're wrong. You don't belong here. When we're really just doing these things to ourselves. We're just judging ourselves. We're seeing unhealed things in ourselves, projecting them out, saying it's you, when really it's us. And we're just not seeing it because we've been blinded by something that has blinded us. And this could be, like I mentioned earlier, a curse. This could be words that were spoken on us, over us. This could have just come from somebody being jealous and doing something like this. And because, you allowed their energy in your field, then this attachment attached to you. So let's just check right now. So I want you to just tune in and check. Are there any curses that have been placed on my head or body or life? Yes or no? Okay, so let's say if you got yes, do you need to become aware of what it actually is before you let it go? Yes or no? Okay, if you got a yes, I want you to tune in and just whatever very first comes to you, what is it? Okay, now, as you become aware, first of all, I want you to forgive whoever it was that put that curse on you, because they didn't know, and they're about to receive what they did to you and then some back. So you have to forgive. I know, right? But you have to forgive. This is how you break the curse. So what did you learn from it? Are you learning something about energetic boundaries? Are you learning to trust your intuition more? What are you learning? Okay, and so whatever it is that you learned, maybe you need more time, maybe you gotta pause this. Whatever it is that you learned, that's the only way you could have learned that lesson, man. It's the only way. So sending out some thankfulness for your teacher, who was the one who put this on you. They are your teacher. So be thankful. Thank you for teaching me this lesson. I release this curse from my energetic field or spell, whatever it was that was put on you. I release this from my energy field. Thank you, and I return it to the sender. Not as a curse, but as energy returned back to them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then as you do that, notice how much lighter your energetic field feels. Notice how good you feel. Now, this is also allowing you to tune in to any time that perhaps you did that to somebody else. And if you can become aware of some time that you ill-wished on somebody else, or you did something along these same lines, call that energy back. Call your energy back to yourself. Apologize to this person for you did not know what you were doing at the time. Maybe you did. Apologize to them. Ask for forgiveness. I ask that my energy be returned from any ill-speaking, ill-wishing curses or spells that I may have innocently or otherwise placed on another person. I call that energy back to myself right now in this moment, right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Excellent. And as you have done this for yourself, you now know what that feels like, right? You feel a little different. You feel a little different. And so becoming aware of these energies, right? And tuning into this, checking, it's probably not going to happen again in the future anytime soon, depending on the environment that you're in. But it happened for you so that you could become aware. Really, the biggest lesson is what it is that you are doing to other people. That's the biggest lesson. Second biggest lesson, what you allow other people to do to you. But it's very similar energetic vibrational frequency imprint that is left, that lingers in our energy field. So anyways, this is what I have for you guys here today. Please subscribe, like, share this channel. If you feel like this message could be beneficial for somebody else, please share it with a friend. Also, check us out on Cosmic Christ Force. This is my other YouTube channel. The Cosmic Christ Force. You can also check us out on cosmicchristforce.org. We have Spiritual Recess. It is depending on the week. We got, sometimes we only have 2, sometimes we have 4, but this is something that you can join us through Zoom live, get in and get some energy activations, get some channeled messages. I'm also creating some course content. I am teaching you how to heal yourself so that you don't need an intermediary, teaching you how to take those emotions that you have and those issues and those problems that you have and actually doing therapy for yourself, subconscious therapy, and then along with that, teaching you how to use your spiritual gifts. Once that is all cleared out and you've actually got a clear channel going on, teaching you how to evolve and use your spiritual gifts optimally, giving you all kinds of different amazing tips and techniques and things that you can do to improve your intuition and all of those spiritual gifts that you have that you are meant to share with the world. Anyways, I love you all so very much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.